Hello, tubers, and welcome to the State of Joe. I'm Joe Santiago, and 10 years ago there was a quote by Zbigniew Brzezinski, the Polish American diplomat and political scientist, also the imperialist globalist warmonger. The CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, and Trilateral Commission co founder. He was a counselor to President Lyndon B. Johnson from 1966 to 1968. He was also President Jimmy Carter's national secretary advisor from 1977 to 1981 and was advisor on foreign affairs to President Obama during his 2008 campaign. His famous quote was, "In early times, it was easier to control a million people than to kill a million people, or to kill a million. Today, it is indefinitely easier to kill a million people than to control a million." I am personally lucky. I've been on vacation since Monday, so I haven't had to go out much. I have a couple of things I've been putting off to avoid too much human contact. I think instead of just panicking, the CDC and government needs to fervently look at the facts of this outbreak. The fact that it's not hitting children as much, and now they're seeing, for example, in Italy, which is an older population, men seem to be dying more. On Wednesday, Italy reported 475 deaths in one day. This disease is making me think it's a man-made pathogen run amok and is now mutating at will. This really could be an experimental biological weapon that got out and totally out of control. Okay? Now, Brzezinski died on May 26, 2017, but he had many books outlining his strategy and visions on global power and America's role in the world. It's just so crazy how a man like this with this way of thinking ends up advising our leaders on what and what not to do regarding our country. He said in a quote in 1972, "Shortly, the public will be unable to reason or think for themselves. They'll only be able to parrot the information they've seen given on the previous night's news." In 1959, because of his ferocious hatred of Russia, was recruited into the CIA front organization called Independent Service for Information, established to counter communist ideology. Aided by the CIA, Brzezinski rose quickly through the elite American deep state power structure, becoming an influential member of the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, and the elite, secretive, but highly influential Bilderberg Group that meets once a year to discuss globalist and various societal and elite agendas. In attendance was senior advisor to President Trump, Jared Kushner, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, French Economy Minister Bruno Le Maire, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, retired General David Petraeus, German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Many major bankers and CEOs also there. Also, upwards of 95 years old, controversial figure Kissinger, Henry Kissinger, and he served as both, and the first person to serve as both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under President Nixon from September 23rd, 1973 to January 20th, 1977. On November 3rd, 1975, President Ford removed him from National Security Advisor but kept him as Secretary of State. With Kissinger, quotes like, "Military men are just dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy," and "It is not a matter of what is true that counts, but a matter of what is perceived to be true." Also, another quote of his, "There cannot be a crisis next week. My schedule is already full." And also he said, "A turbulent history has taught Chinese leaders that not every problem has a solution, and that too great an emphasis on total mastery over specific events could upset the harmony of the universe." Keep in mind, this influential figure was the first person President Trump sat down with when he became president. Now, when Brzezinski co-founded the Trilateral Commission with David Rockefeller, one of Rockefeller's famous quotes, "Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States," characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it. Now, this is remnant of what the Bible prophesizes. The New World, or the New World Order, elite, rules of engagement, if you will. Basically, it's complete breakdown of the world as we have come to know it. And what more perfect way to change the world through information and fake news? To confuse everyone. The devil's greatest tool is confusion. So all these men, plus countless other extreme leaders around the world, have got us to this point. What better way to bring the great America down to its knees, along with the whole globe in this case, is play on our fears of the unknown. I would like to just say that this could be the end of all of human and humankind if we don't get a grip on this virus. We need to figure this out, obviously. But with President Trump firing the head of the CDC and other questionable actions that are making people think there's much more to this than meets the eye. So I love all of you, and just don't take this thing lightly. This could be the very end of it. And, end of it. All. A gradual, slow extermination. Okay? Now, this is so serious. I'm looking at the news. I'm looking around the world. The death toll, how it keeps increasing by the hours. we are going to be killed by this virus. This is going to get more out of control. We're not going to be able to stop it. I don't see how we're going to be able to stop this. This is just destroying this country, destroying the world, even. All this stoppage of business. Everybody's just sick and worried and high anxiety about getting sick. You know, this could be the thing that destroys us, because the Bible says also the earth will continue. The earth will continue. Well, this virus will kill off us, okay? The humans and everything will be gone. It's probably some of the animals too. But the earth will continue. The earth will continue on, and who knows, maybe be repopulated again at some later date. We don't know. But the point of this is, this is, I just want to say this. I know I'm just a normal person, working stiff and whatnot, blue collar worker, as they would call them, or whatever. But yeah, I really think I don't see a way out of this. It's very sad. It's very depressing. But I think this is how it's going to happen. Everybody thought it would be a big event, like a major, quick event, like a say like a a bomb, or an asteroid, like what happened to the dinosaurs. We think happened to the dinosaurs and whatnot. Even alien invasion or something like that. But no, it's going to be this virus that is created by a man or men or whatever. I think it's out of control. Obviously, it's just really, really, really scary. And so I wanted to just make this video just to get, not that it matters. If we're gone, we're gone. There's not much we could do about it. It may be only a matter of time. But very scary, very tragic. And yeah, I'm just, it's just really, really, really crazy. And so like I said, when I say I love all you and stuff, I love the experiences I've had so far in my life. As insignificant as my life is in the scheme of things. And but it's been fun. I don't want my life and everybody's life to be over because of this, but I don't see how we're going to get out of this. It just keeps getting worse. People are just getting infected, and unless we have a gigantic miracle all of a sudden and we figure this out a lot quicker than the year or two or whatever they're predicting before we have a vaccine. We don't have time for a year or two. We need to find out now, ASAP today. Well, we needed to find out weeks ago, months ago, really. But so I mean, I wish I could give some positive, um, words to get through this, but really, I think we're past that point. We're dealing with a staunch reality here. Um, Very, very scary. And I believe, honestly, I haven't gotten any word from God or anything, but it's just what I think. I think that this is the end of everybody. This is the end of you're not going to be able to contain this. It's out of control. Okay. So I don't know. It's a very bitter ending to what could have been a great civilization, and I'm sure we'll find out more facts about this before everybody's gone. But seriously, I think this is the beginning of the end for us. Hate to be a doomsayer and a negative person about this, but I don't know. That's just what I feel. I feel that we're not going to be able to recover from this. And, we're not going to be able to, we're not going to be able to rebound from this. It's too far. We're in too deep. And hopefully we can, if there's a miracle, I know there's a God, but like, he can't just solve all our problems. I mean, there's certain things we do, and I don't know 100% sure if this is our fault or whatever, but most likely it is. So hate to be depressing and pessimistic and whatnot, and all that, but yeah, I just wanted to post this as an extension of my last video. I warned on the last video that things were going to get worse. Now that I'm watching the news a little more, and I'm realizing things are worse. They're getting worse quickly, rapidly. It's sad. I don't want to die of this thing. I don't want anybody really to die from it. I don't want anybody to die from it, but I know it's going to happen. You can't have complete isolation. It doesn't work in today's society. We try to, but we just don't understand viruses enough, and how they mutate and all this stuff. So that's today's message. It's not a happy message. I would say just do the best you can, but it really doesn't look good, guys. I'm sorry. Like I said, anything short than an absolute miracle is not going to be enough to save us. So appreciate the time you had in your life, and just you hope for the best, but be ready for the worst, because you don't know what's going to happen. how many people are going to be left after all this is said and done? Is it just going to systematically go through and kill us all, and just infect everybody, and all memory will be gone? I mean, Rome fell in about 300 years. We've been around for about 240 years or so. We had a long run, but these things happen. They wipe out civilizations. Things happen, catastrophic things, diseases, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, this is our reality, this dystopian society, germophobic dystopian society now. This shift into this just hopelessness, and just very, very bad stuff. And I hope, I hope we can recover from this. I hope we can turn this around. But honestly, I hate to say it, but I think this is it. This is the end. All it takes is a disease like this, and it doesn't matter how rich you are, or whatever, it doesn't matter. All your material possessions are null and void right now. They don't really matter. They can get you through a little longer, maybe. You could survive in a bunker or whatever for a while if you're, have a bunker or a protective place. But supplies are going to run out. The economy is going to crumble. People are going to, all money is going to be devalued. Hospitals are going to stop providing things. There's going to be no work. There's going to be no food. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Very, very sad for this human race to be going through this. But it's where we're at. So, I don't know. Just hope for a miracle. That's all I can say. Hope for a miracle, and that's it. I mean, there's not much more you can say. They've been trying to do these weird things to this society. You have these, like I said, these leaders with these off-the-wall views, leading presidents and leaders around by their noses. And it's just sad. It's very sad. So I'll leave you with that. I wish I could say, have faith and God's gonna, but I just don't know if God can at this point turn this around, unless he somehow gets it in some scientist's mind or doctor's mind how to figure out this equation, because there is an answer to it. We just don't know what it is. We have to look at the facts of this, and we have to get down. I don't care if we have to go to China. You're going to have to be careful of that, obviously. Suit up and everything, but whatever you have to do, interrogate people. We have to get to the bottom of this, okay? We're sitting around social distancing and doing these very remedial things that are supposed to protect us. They're not protecting us. We're getting sick. We're still getting sick, okay? We don't know what's going on here. I mean, if this gets into just the general air, starts aerosol, like an aerosol type disease, and it's just moving around, and through the jet stream and the different systems that move around the world. I mean, we are screwed. Okay, we are completely screwed, and like I said, our only hope is a miracle. I mean, I do pray that it happens, but at the same time, you know, there's only so much we can do. We're only human. We're only vulnerable living organisms. And without some major, magical, miraculous thing happening, unfortunately, I think this is the end. And I should be sadder. I should be crying. I should be screaming or something, or I don't know. But I just feel like there's not much I can do. It's not going to help to scream and yell. And I mean, this is just something that's just overtaking us very quickly. I don't know what else to say, but thanks for listening. Try to have a good day, and hope for a miracle. That's all I can say. Peace out.